Hello, welcome back to Squashwarp in Kerbal Space Program. I'm Luke, and it turns out I just needed to reload the game to get my Duna probe, my Duna lander, to talk to the Kerbal Space Center. Just took a reload, and now the Space Center's communication is way out here. Let's look at the Deep Space Network. Yeah, there we go. So now, with a 2G antenna, we can go all the way out to Joule, which is totally overpowered, but it's the Outer Planets mod adjustment to custom barn kit, because I didn't want to add more parts mods to get better antennas. Just wanted to use the stock antennas with the Outer Planets mod, which means I'm getting away with having little antenna on a probe that otherwise wouldn't be able to talk to Kerbin, but whatever. There's a lot of things in this game that make... There's a lot of mods in this save that make the game a little bit harder, so I don't mind the occasional thing that makes it easier. Let's send our science back. I don't think you need to watch that. I'll just read any of the science things if they're interesting. Okay, I've transmitted all of the science experiments that we have, and now I'm going to try something that may not work, but we missed out on the mystery goo while flying. I'm going to retract this antenna, go into locked mode. That had a weird effect. Okay, and let's get out of locked mode. That's just too weird. Okay, and attempt to perform... Let me turn the music up. Attempt to perform a mystery goo while in the air. Okay, never mind. I can't move the thing at all. I thought maybe I might be able to, in the low gravity, like bump it up in the air. But absolutely not. Cannot move the craft at all. All right, never mind. I won't do that. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. I didn't give us a preface at the beginning of what we're going to do today, because honestly, it's got the space program has gotten complex enough that I don't know what we're doing anymore. We got a lot of different projects going on, so let's go find out. Well, we have the science to unlock a new node, so we're going to get unmanned tech and get some more probe cores. Well, as usual, we have another asteroid redirect periapse. Just assume that every time anything happens, I'm just... Whoops, we lost power. I just assume that anytime anything else happens, I'm also switching back and forth to this, because every orbit we want to reduce our periapse, or our apoapse. Unfortunately, we're out of sunlight, so there we go. All right, I'll see you on it when we do a different thing. We're getting there. Look, our apoapse is down to under 2 million meters, and it's just that each time we make our orbit smaller, we have less fuel when we get to periapse because we have less time to produce it. So it's getting this is getting very tedious. I've been here for a while, but that's okay. It's worth it. We're going to have an asteroid pet. This is what we do. We warp around. We get back to periapse-ish. We throttle up. We use 12 times physical time warp until we're out of fuel, and we warp here, and we just do it again. So this is what I'm doing. What are you doing? Okay, we just detected something unusual in orbit of the moon. Now, I happen to know what this is, but I'm not going to reveal that yet. The space program does not yet know what this is. We have to send a mission to investigate right away. So, what would be the best way to do this? I don't think we need a grabber. Let me check on my my ship options. I'll be back. Okay, we're here at Manticore Station, and I am thinking that we will transfer some crew, and we have a special mission for some of these Kerbals. So let's take a scientist, an engineer, and a pilot. They all have the same hab time, except for Joffrey and Tomden, who have less for some reason. I don't know how to read this. We're trying to pick the crew. And we're going to send them out to orbit of the moon on a special mission. One which will not return to the space station. They won't have the Delta V to come to the space station, but they should have Delta V to come back to Kerbin. If not, we'll have to send an urgent rescue mission. Okay, so Joffrey and Tomden, and then we need an engineer. Bill. Joffrey, Tomden, and Bill are going to go. And they're going to take this spacecraft. So let's transfer some stuff around. Oh, this one's full. Oh, this one's full already. Let's put them in this one. Now, where are they? Tomden. Transfer in here. Bill. Transfer in here. And Joffrey. Transfer in here. We're going to have only one scientist left. Yeah. So Gilvin is going to have to research by herself. That's okay. While we're here, we can... wait, let's wait to transmit science until we have more electric charge. Let's get electric charge back. Okay, there we have it. Transmit science. Done. Let's get through the night. Gonna lose electric charge when we get through the night. Okay, there we go. Everybody's happy again. Okay. Every night they get mad, but if we're not looking at them, they don't notice. Alright, electric charge is full. Tomden, Bill, and Joffrey are aboard. Let's transfer supplies aboard. Supplies out. So they should have plenty of supplies. Can we transfer mulch out? We're just full of mulch. We can't get rid of it. Okay. I'm going to save real quick. Save 18. All right. Here we go. Which one? This one. Undock. Wait. Let me retract these two solar panels to make this a little safer. Okay. Okay. Point orbit retrograde. And give a little bit of thrust. That way, when we go to the moon, we're going to be in front of them rather than behind them. It's counterintuitive, but that's how it works. All right. Set the moon as target. Actually, we're going to want to burn very soon. I'm going to fiddle with this because we want the most efficient transfer we can get. Actually, I think that's already good. Let's swing low around the moon. Burn is in 2 minutes. Hopefully we're not going to be pointing right at the space station when it's time to do it. Right, we're going to blow right past them, but that's okay. 2, 1, bye Manticore. It's the first time I've had a low frame rate in this game, but this is because we're blasting past an entire space station. Okay. Because we need to investigate this object. We have 7 days of habitability on this craft. That should be enough to go to the moon and investigate this object. It is... Sensors suggest that it is not an asteroid or comet. It's some other object, and we don't know what kind. 3, 4, 3... 2, 1, 0. Alright, we're probably hitting the moon. Yes, we are. Back up a bit with RCS. Good. We're going to have to make a minor correction burn to get our inclination better. Maybe like this. 0.8. 0.7. 1. Wait, that went up. 0.7. 0.7 will have to do. We'll fix it later. Add that alarm. And let's go to it. Okay. And I think this will be everybody's first visit to the moon from this group. So they should get some XP from this when they get back. Let's just do this with monopropellant. See if we can make it less. No, that made it more. I made it more. Okay, so let's leave it right there. Actually, if we get it on the periapse, we can do an inclination change at exactly the right time. Cool. It's 1 degree off. We can fix it at periapse. Let's warp here. Straight out to the moon. Got a lot of spacecraft in this vicinity. Okay. We have 738 meters per second to work with. Let's add a maneuver at periapse. Now, my concern is how many days are we going to have to wait here? Because we'll run out of habitability in 7 days. And I don't know how slow this orbit is. So let's put it to right there. And then we'll do a quick correction for inclination. Oop, apparently I'm pulling the wrong way. There we go. That will get our inclination. Okay. Let's go to that maneuver. Whee! They're all so happy. Look at them down there. You can't see them underneath my, here. Turned off my mic instead of my... Yeah, look at Tomden, Bill, and Joffrey. They're having a great time. Okay. Okay. Let's get pointed the right way, because we are doing a minor inclination change. As we fly over the surface of the moon at 800 meters per second. Good, close enough. All right. Focus view on the moon. Oh, we already had view focused on the moon. Okay. Let's do a maneuver here. To accelerate. Wrong way. There we go. In 2 days. Okay, we can afford that. Right? Because our life support will last us 6 days. Okay, good. Intersect 0.5 kilometers in 2 days. Let's do that maneuver. All right, we have 0.2 meters, 0.2 kilometers intercept. Let's warp here and turn target retrograde and see what it is. It should be coming up on us soon. We're too far away still. Too far away. Warp here. It's coming from behind us. Where's the moon? There it is. Should be showing up behind us like this. There it is. 80 kilometers away. UNKJYI 699. Add maneuver, focus on vessel, delete maneuver. Okay. 68 meters per second. How long is that going to take? 68. That's a 4-second burn. Okay. Let's warp here. Three kilometers away. Mesmerizing object offers a gift of knowledge. Alright, reduce speed. Reduce closing velocity to 2 meters per second. Alright. What do you make of it, Griffin? Roll over. Reduce closing velocity to 1 meter per second. Alright. See what you can see. What do you see out there? It is a tetrahedral object. Green. My God, it's full of stars. We're closing. All right. Increase closing rate. Did we get a bunch of science from it? I don't know. I think we did. I'm going to time accelerate a little bit. Alright, we're approaching the object. I'll get close within 50 meters. All right. Screen cap of that. Okay. Space tetrahedron. I was right. It was a tetrahedral object. I was not sure about my shapes there. Joffrey, you're the scientist. Go on EVA. She says, I'm approaching the object. Apparently I can disassemble it, but that's from a different mod. Can I do any science? Let's do an EVA report. We're just high over the moon. Okay, I don't think we can do anything else with it. I think we just get the science from running into it. But fascinating. All right, let me go check something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I feel like the music is appropriate for this, actually. Turn the lights off. All right, Joffrey, one last thing. Make physical contact with the object. I know we're asking you to do something very dangerous. Nothing seems to be happening. What about this side? She smashes her head against it. What's in your inventory? Nothing. Alright, she's checking the back side. Oh, we need a screen cap of this. Oh, that's so cool. I love this. I love this game, and I love these mods. Alright. Perform a complete inspection of the object. Good. Now return to the spacecraft. Forward. Well, it's clearly a manufactured object of some kind. We could attempt to grab it. But that will be for a future mission. We don't have the grabbing equipment on this craft. We've performed a rendezvous maneuver around the moon, yes. Okay, well, since you have limited life support, well, actually you have a ridiculous amount of supplies, but since you have, actually, since you have limited, we only have 3 days left of habitability, so let's make a plan for how you're coming home. How do I untarget vessel? There we go. Untarget it. Alright, well, you can't come home until here. Add a maneuver here. And it needs to be less than 500 meters per second, but I think that's pretty easy. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with maneuvers. Alright, allow the object to pass, but remain within proximity of it. Keep making observations while we orbit the moon. These maneuvers are really bizarre, so I'm going to go down to a low moon orbit so that I can plan maneuvers in a way that isn't super weird. There we go. Now we got a maneuver that we actually want. So let's fly that. Add alarm. Alright, we've left the object behind, but we'll still be tracking it from the tracking station. Let's perform our return burn. Whoa, what's happening? Oh, we're still at 12 times physical warp. Oh boy, okay. I'm glad we're all okay. Yeesh. I didn't mean to do that. Let's turn off the landing engineer. We had our landing site plotted out for us. Well, we're landing in the deserts. Okay. Glad everybody's alright. Okay, we've made it back to the surface. I don't think we have any science we can do. We've already been here. We can apparently take a surface sample. So, Joffrey, take a surface sample. Board. And now let's go report your findings back to the Space Center. Alright, well, while those findings are being researched, we have to switch back to the Dryad space station and transfer the crew, because we have 21 days of life support left at the space station. So, as hard as they are working here, and as much science as they... Whoa, okay, we have 300 science. Let's get into the sun. We're going to lose our electric charge, I think. Yep, there it goes. Now they're homesick. Okay, now they're fine. Alright, we're gonna send our science back. Transmit science. I think we've already leveled them up. Yep. And once we've sent all our science back, good. We can make sure we have full tanks. We do. We're going to go back home, and I'm going to fast forward. Alright, I've been skipping through the maneuver planning because this has been a very silly maneuver plan. Stand by. Okay, there we go. And it's going to be a relatively expensive burn because we didn't wait until Minmus was in the right place, but I'm not waiting. Oh, and it's in 5 seconds. Okay, good to know. 2, 1. There we go. we're just burning parallel to our orbit here. That's okay. We've got lots of Delta V because we refilled with the refueling mission. Vampire ISRU. Whoops, we overburned. Let's delete. And turn retrograde so that we can not crash into the planet. The administration upgrade is complete. We'll come back to that in a minute. What? Why does my maneuver say it's going to be in 23 days? 23 days? But my periapse is in 5 days. Alright, I'm going to have to remake this. There we go. That's maneuvers in 5 days. I don't know what that was. I've never seen that before. Okay, here we go. We're gonna be orbit retrograde-ish. And let's warp. That's what I say, by the way. When we unlock warp drive, that's gonna be what I say. I don't say engage, or hit it, or punch it, or whatever the other captains say. I say, let's warp. It doesn't have the same punch to it, but it is what I say every time I am gonna time accelerate. So, all right, delete, unclose. My goodness. So the reason we upgraded the administration building is because we're actually going to. I had been thinking about doing this, and then I decided not to, and then I decided that I would in fact do this. We're going to start turning our science into funds. Now, the problem is that the exchange rate of science into funds is terrible. We make very little money in exchange for a lot of science. But my main concern is that I don't want to unlock the rest of the tech tree too fast. That's just for gameplay pace. So I was considering turning down, I already have science rewards set at 60%, but I was considering turning it down even further. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well get money for it. So I'm going to do it through the administration building instead of through the difficulty settings. And we can always turn that off again if we feel like it's taking too long to get stuff. But I feel like I'm unlocking tech nodes faster than I can learn how to use the new equipment that comes with them. All right, let's time accelerate through this burn here. And the rendezvous. I overshot again, but not by as much. All right, docking time. Okay. Power off. I mean, not power off. Docking computer off. Quick save. What have we done to the habitability on the space station? We're fine. I don't know why Staffel Kerman has indefinite habitation. That seems strange to me. But anyway, now we got to figure out how the crew transfer is going to work. Let me think for a second. Okay, so the basic problem is that we only have 3 scientists here. We need 4 scientists, 2 to go to Minmus and 2 to be at the space station. because we ended up sending a scientist on the emergency mission to the object. So, I think we need a crew rotation. So I'm going to send up another capsule, I think. Trade out some of this crew, and send some new crew out to Minmus. I think that's what we're doing next. So there may be a problem with what I'm thinking about doing, but I'm thinking about trying to send a bunch of tourists on this next mission. So if we get Vrock Passenger and we launch it, we can add a crew of 3 plus 7 passengers and satisfy a couple of missions. So, sure. We'll send Valentina, Bob, and Berfel again. They can go back. It's been, I don't know how long it's been. They've already been to Minmus, but that's fine. I was going to hire a new crew, but now I'm afraid to leave this menu, because last time I did that, I couldn't get the tourists back. And then we're going to add Linhat, Daphne, and Gwenzor. Linhat, Daphne, Gwenzor, Lenony, and who else? Halden, Gus Fraud, and Dilly. Where are they? Dilly, Halden, Gus Fraud, Dilly. Okay, we're gonna fill tanks and launch. Wow, it's raining hard. We get to listen to the rain on the windows again. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, F5. We need this pulled up. Control. And Z. T. Let's see if I can do it from in here. Yeah, I'm gonna save again. Jets on. I don't have a asset cockpit view for this kind of cockpit, apparently. I don't remember which asset cockpits I installed. I don't have a way to know my airspeed. Woo! Big lightning. Okay, gear up. Oh my gosh, the rain goes the right way when you have wind. That's amazing. Okay, there's my surface speed. Good. This is Valentina's view. Alright, let's go to space. And all of a sudden, we can see the stars. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in space. And maneuver at Apo. And now we're going to rendezvous with the space station. Okay. And look at that. We got 2 SSTO spacecraft docked at the space station at the same time. What a beautiful picture. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Looking good. Okay, let's look at our contract situation. Okay, so one person has to spend 4 hours here. Low Kerbin orbit, they have another hour. They have to be here. Now, the question is, does this person realize they're at Dryad transfer? Yes, because it understands that Dryad transfer is now Manticore Station because they're all docked together. So we just need to wait for 4 hours, exchange the crew, and then come home. We'll pretend that they go inside. Like, they're not docked on the right port to go inside. So, I don't know what to say about that. In fact, the crew is going to have to EVA because I'm not allowed to transfer but through the utility trunk. So, let's do that. Wait, hang on. Let's make sure that there's room to get in. Okay, good. There's nobody in there. All right, Valentina. Transfer out. Oh, wait, no, not transfer. Escape. The whole point was that you're going to EVA. Okay, EVA. And you get to EVA over this beautiful space station. What a fancy construction we've put together here. This might be the coolest space station I've made. Like, it wasn't one that I planned out the way that sometimes I plan out a space station, but like, it's definitely ended up being really cool. Alright, not that it's like as big as like other people's, but I don't care. It's useful. It has exactly what it actually needs. Okay. Where is Jebediah? Jebediah. Come here so you can get out. Wait, you know what? Staffel's been in space longer, hasn't she? Where's Staffel? Staffel. You come in here. Alright, I'm going to fast forward this. Okay, I don't know why I'm finding this so difficult. Gwendis is in there. Bob and Burfle are in there. Who are we missing? Gilvin. Where's Gilvin? Gilvin, where are you? You're in one of the habitat parts. Not that one. Not that one. There you are. There we go. Start research. Okay, so we got 2 scientists. Bob and Burfle are going back to Minmus. Gwendis and Gilvin are going to research. They're both scientists, right? Yes. Okay, I don't know why that was so hard for me. And then Jenny, Staffel, and Hudemy are going back to Kerbin. Woo, that was difficult. I don't know how much of that I fast-forwarded versus cut. Okay, importantly, we're going to transfer some liquid fuel into the other spacecraft, because we have plenty of Delta V on this ship. But this spacecraft was completely out of fuel. So, just keeping that in mind. And we can also, well, we're not short on monopropellant, so it's fine. So let's quick save, and then let's make sure that everybody has spent as much time in space as they want to. Let's get into a locked camera. And then let's control from here. There we go. Let's watch it this way. There we go. Time warp. Do. It's not turning. I don't know. I thought it was going to turn. There we go. Let's get the view of one of the tourists. Boy, he can't see much, can he? There we go. There's space. Look, he's getting to look at space. And then he's getting to look at... There, he's getting to look at Kerbin. Fantastic. Alright, we're just gonna time accelerate until 2.5 hours have passed. Wow, it's just going... Time is flying. What alarm is coming up right now? Oh, the Zorn 1 spacecraft is about to be complete. Okay, cool. Well, we'll fly that as soon as this is done. We also missed a Plock window. So Plock is like the Pluto analog. And I had built a spacecraft to go to Plock, but I'm going to repurpose it for Nidon. Because even with... So the most efficient transfer to Plock will take almost 70 years. The one that I had planned out was only going to take 24 years. I feel like we can do better once we have better engines. So we're just going to miss this clock window, and we'll go when we have better equipment. All right, let's check on our Kerbals. These ones are... You know what? I think Valentina might have to go home. How's Staffel's... Where's Staffel? Oh, he's not going to tell me here anyway. What level is Staffel? She's a level 1 pilot. So we don't want to get in trouble with these contracts. So actually, Jebediah... Valentina, transfer into here. And where's Jebediah? Jebediah Kerman. Transfer into the cupola. And trade places with Staffel. Because hang on, escape. She's got a EVA. I gotta keep my rules. Because Staffel is not level 2, and the contract specifically says they need to be with a level 2 pilot. Or they need to be with a pilot and a level 2 crew member. So Staffel, I'm sorry, you don't get to go home yet. What was your time in space? Why can I not find you? Oh, because you're not you're not in the ship. Okay. Let's double check that your time in space is okay. Staffel is happy to be here for indefinite for some reason. So is Jebediah, whereas Valentina is wanting to go home in 138 days. But I still think Jebediah is the one to go home. So let's EVA. Jump. Shift. Wait. Shift D. Jump. Shift D. Wait. Shift D. Jump. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. I think Kerbal's stop at end of ladders is messing with the ability to jump or something. Oh, it's so beautiful up here. Look at this. Besides, the tourists will like being flown by the Jebediah Kerman. Okay, they've been in space long enough. Recover Kerbals. Recover Kerbals. Recover Kerbal. Great. Vessel's complete. Good. Let's go home. If I can figure out how to undock. Undock! RCS. Little thruster is all we have. Back away from the space station. Alright. Deploy the solar panels while we're here. And roll the craft to face the sun. Make sure we get plenty of electric charge. And now we got to plan a return. So let's point prograde and get a little bit of thrust just to make sure that we don't come back and crash into the space station. Wait, these engines don't have a lot of thrust, do they? There we go. Good. Now, let's look at this. Warp to here. Let's turn on trajectories. And let's point orbit retrograde. Can we unset this as target? No, we're just going to have a yellow line for some reason. Okay. Here's our descent. Happy with how much Delta V we ended up with in space this time. That was much better. It was a much better flight than I've been having. Alright, we're going to return. Okay, coming in for a landing. Oh, there's like sound effects for the wheels. That's amazing. Will we stop in time for the end of the runway? I think we will. That might be my smoothest return from orbit yet. Yep. Woo! That was like a real landing. Good job, everybody. Welcome back to Earth. Or, Kerbin. Where are we? Welcome back to Kerbin. Alright, good job, everyone. Good flying, Jebediah. Alright, good. Tourist to Manticore, tourist to low Kerbin orbit, tourist to visit Dryad. Fantastic. We made lots of money, we made reputation. I'm going to check on some contracts. We got a couple more tourists that want to go to orbit and Manticore Station, so we'll do that eventually. Otherwise, I think contracts are all basically the way that they were before. We will do a group of ScanSat surveys of Duna eventually, so we'll go ahead and take this contract. Alright, now as a final thing today, the laboratory and the scientists and everybody at the Kerbal Space Center has been looking at the information brought back from the object around the moon. And it has unlocked some very tantalizing potential scientific opportunities. And the scientists are now theorizing that, based on the information we got from the object, they're now theorizing that they may have postulated a new material capable of affecting the fabric of space-time itself. And they've dubbed this substance graviolium and theorized that it may exist on asteroids. And so we are going to launch to the asteroid redirect mission and attempt to determine, whoops, let's not bank over yet, and attempt to determine if this substance does indeed exist on that object. This is just a test vehicle. It won't even be able to bring any of the substance home. It is simply designed to rendezvous with the asteroid and confirm or deny the presence of graviolium in the object. I hope I'm launching the right way. I think I'm going too far west. There we go. What a terrible launch. Okay. Oh boy. Well, another one of these launches. Okay, let's try that again. Well, we're not going to try it again yet, but let's make an apoapse burn, and we'll try to fix this situation. Just circularize, get our periapse above the atmosphere, and our such and such have deployed. Apparently, we don't have the delta V. Now, there we go. It's calculated it correctly now that we're above the atmosphere. I'm like, excuse me. All right. Let's finish getting up to apoapse. And power up. Here's the little spacecraft. Deploy the solar panels. Time accelerate through this burn. And we're in an orbit. Switch to the other craft. And you've seen all this before, but we're going to try to recover the other craft. Our Paladin launch stage. Back to our spacecraft. As usual, when a launch goes badly, we fail to recover the engine, but that's okay. Just an incentive to keep doing better with launches. Let's set up a rendezvous with the asteroid. Okay, we've arrived at the asteroid. Let's set up a rendezvous here. I'm going to dock with it. And I think the idea is, the goal would be to... can we turn on the lights? There we go. Does that help at all? I don't know. The goal would be to try to connect to it on the opposite side of the asteroid from the redirect mission that's already there. That way, we don't mess with the center of mass of the asteroid very much. So, okay, let's make sure that this craft is pointed prograde. And then we can point orbit retrograde. And then we can time accelerate to... Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that. We can't time accelerate. Oh, boy. Turn RCS off. Let's target. There we go. Why is it not rotating? Are we trying to... No, we stopped. Prograde. Turn prograde. The sun is rising as we come into the capture. There's the sun. Do. Did I arm? Yes, I did. Alright, it's not going to be lined up perfectly, but it'll be close enough. Alright. So, our science lab has fitted this craft with a graviolium tank. A special... That's pretty close. Pretty close to opposite. Okay. We're here. So, let's focus camera on this. And let's extend these drills, deploy, and come on, can't click on that one. Deploy. Okay, we got a couple things we can do. First of all, we can log gravity data. Just above the cold ocean, let's transmit that. Second thing we can do is open asteroid comet scanner. And we find what resources it has. And are any of them graviolium? I don't see any. Gypsum. I don't see any graviolium listed as part of the asteroid scanner. Yeah, no. But we can attempt to mine anyway. Start asteroid harvester. Start asteroid harvester. And it seems that there is no graviolium in this asteroid. Because we are not getting any flow. We are getting ore flow. Because for some reason these drills are helping the other drills. Start this asteroid harvester. Start this asteroid harvester. I don't know why the small ones don't make any noise. And we're making... Let's turn off the oxidizer and start ISRU liquid fuel. So we're getting ore, but we're transforming it into fuel. But it seems that this asteroid does not have any graviolium. which could mean that the mod is not working, but it could also mean that this asteroid specifically has no graviolium in it. It's hard to say, but it's unfortunate that it has no graviolium, because we can't mine any. But that is okay. Someday we will find something. We have yet to prove or disprove the existence of this particle, but at least we've developed the technology to contain it, if it does exist. So anyway, I'm not sure where we're at on time, but I realized that we never transferred our crew to Minmus. So let's transfer our crew to Minmus, and then we'll call it a day. While we're here, focus, aim camera. Let's turn off, shut down this engine. It's a little bit cheaty, but now we can use both fuel tanks for the asteroid redirect. Let's find the control. Probodobadine. Control from here. Let's turn orbit retrograde. I can do this without recording, so we'll switch to the transfer vehicle shortly. All right, now we're going to send our new crew, or our old crew, as the case may be, back to Minmus. And we'll do this pretty quickly. Okay, we're on our way to Minmus. We have a transfer burn to do for the Cambion spacecraft, or a correction burn, I should say, but we'll see that next time. Thank you for joining and watching me switch crew around and experiment with graviolium. And we had a wonderful discovery earlier in this episode, so I'm excited for where that might go, and I'll check my mods and stuff and make sure everything's working. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.